Helpful for life.
Okay, let's talk about one of the most delicious way to cook eggs, and that's frying them. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this lit. You know what I meant. You get this lit and I'll pop some butter into the pan. So in this case we're using butter, but in my opinion the best way to fry an egg is to cook some bacon or sausage, and then after you take that out, use the grease from it to fry your egg. It'll add that extra bit of flavor and it will just make it that much more delicious. So as that's heating up, just letting the butter melt down. The first way we're going to cook is a sunny side up egg. And so what we'll do is we'll crack the egg into the pan and then we will just not even flip it. And there are a couple of ways that the top gets done. One of the ways is just cooking it on low enough heat to where it'll slowly cook without overcooking the bottom. Another way is people will put a lid on to let the heat stay trapped within the pan, and some people will even put a splash of water to add some steam to help cook the soft way. I'm going to show you what I think is the more delicious way, but first let's crack the egg in. Right in the middle of that delicious butter. So you want your butter to be hot and sizzling, but not browning. If it gets brown, you might want to turn your heat down and start again. Wipe your butter out and start again. Okay, so as this cooks, you'll see the outside is already gone from translucent to white. See, this is bubbling a little too much, so I'm going to turn my heat down a little. And remember, you can always remove things from the heat if you need to cool them down. So you can see it went from translucent to white on the outsides. So that part's cooking. I'm going to add a little more butter here on the side, and you'll see why in a second. You can see this here is still very translucent. So that is not cooked. So the trick here is we're actually going to melt this butter, and then we're going to scoop this hot butter, and we're going to ladle it on top of the egg. And this pan is so non-stick that you can see this egg just sliding around. Makes it a little harder for me to get the butter on top, but it'll still do the job. So just continually ladling this butter right on top of the egg to get it cooked, while that bottom's still cooking from the direct heat. Frying an egg is also something you probably don't want to do naked. That butter can jump out of the pan real fast and burn your skin real easily. Alright, so you can see now, in addition to this white being solid, the whites around the egg are a lot more solid than they were before. Not translucent, not see-through. And so at this point, it's just a matter of how runny you like your egg yolk. I like my egg yolk pretty runny, so I'm going to call this done. But if you like it over medium or over hard, then you could keep going. So I'm going to take this bad boy out, and I'm going to scoop it right onto one of my egg tacos. Now if you're opposed to the butter, you can, pat this dry, get a little of that excess butter off. But I like butter. And then you throw some salt and pepper on this guy and call it a day. And just so you can see how that yolk is still a little runny, but yet that white is cooked.